This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. During tax season, your personal info travels to a lot of places. Between payroll, your tax consultant, and the IRS. If your W-2 gets exposed, that's just the ticket for identity thieves. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Don't let identity thieves take you for a ride. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations.
I think you're on mute.
Workday starting to sound the same.
I think you're on mute.
Find something that sounds better for your career on LinkedIn. With LinkedIn Job Collections, you can browse curated collections by relevant industries and benefits, like flex PTO or hybrid workplaces, so you can find the right job for you. Get started at linkedin.com/jobs. Finding where you fit. LinkedIn knows how.
Hi, and welcome to our musical episode of See You Next Tuesday. And we're going to be syncing this whole episode. I lied. I just came up with that 2 seconds ago when I hit record.
Who would have known? I recently played my nephew I didn't know they made a full extended song of Put That Thing Back Where It Came From, So Help Me, from Monsters, Inc.
Haven't seen it. I've seen Monsters U. I haven't seen the original.
I love Monsters U too. But I
saw Monsters U in the movie theater.
It's a good movie theater movie. I really want to show him that, but I don't know if he's at the age where he's even heard of monsters hiding under your bed or in your closet, and I don't really want to introduce
traumatize him.
Yeah, that because the whole point is it's supposed to counteract the kids who already think that and feel that way. But if he's not aware of that yet, I'm maybe I don't do that yet. But I've decided I think the next one he really wants to watch Lilo and Stitch. But his
haven't
mom was
seen that one either.
She was I think he can handle it, and I was I have been thinking about it, and it starts. Lilo's an orphan. And CBS is trying to take her away for the whole movie. Also, Stitch is getting they're trying to tranquilize him with giant shots. Yeah, but they're trying to take her away from her sister.
Oh.
Yeah. And
How
I was
old's her sister? Is she an adult?
Nani? Yeah. She's an adult. She was a lot of people's sexual awakening. Thick thighs, baby.
I see things on the internet.
Yeah.
And I'm I didn't know if she was an adult or not, because I was this is weird if she's not.
No, she's an adult. She's a young adult, though. She's supposed to be 23 or something.
Okay. Well, that's fine. But I didn't know if she was
No, they didn't make a 17-year-old that thick.
They could have, just for cultural reasons.
No, but they have her wearing a bathing, I think they would have kept her in pants.
I've never seen the movie.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if people were drawing their fantasies or what.
Fair. A $5 sex witch drawing a little fantasy for hentai porn. But I was then there's constantly constantly trying to take him, and they're shooting at him with these space guns, but then they also tranquilize him a lot of times. And also I can't remember if it's the part they cut out because they had to for 9/11. There's a plane crash in a city that they said
there's plane crashes all the time now.
Yep.
There's another one today.
I think it was supposed to crash into a tower. And so it was months after 9/11. They said never mind, scratch that. But
there was an episode of
I don't think he could do it.
The Nanny, the season premiere, after 9/11, and they were on a plane and they had to cut out all of it. And
did you know 2-week notice when I was damn, I think they actually shot this in New York, and I was and this is they're shutting down street. I was this is a New York production, and I was impressed. Turns out it was the first production filmed in New York after 9/11. So I think that's probably why they were given a lot of support from the city, because
they needed it.
Yeah. Even Sex in the City, you see people looking in the back, in the background, looking direct to camera, because they're not paid extras. They just are filming in public.
Same with Law and Order.
Yeah, so it's rare when you see something that you go, holy shit, you shut this down like it's Toronto.
Yeah.
But I want to get him to watch The Incredibles instead of Monsters, Inc.
He hasn't seen The Incredibles?
I think he'll love that.
No, but like legit, he hasn't seen it?
No, he hasn't seen it. I know.
I saw that in the movie theaters.
I think we're going to have a sleepover and he's going to come watch it.
I'm sorry. I thought you were
meant
talking
Mott's?
about Mott's right now.
No.
I forgot that we were talking about your nephew.
Motts has seen The Incredibles.
That's why I was so
would've fixed that
offended. That's why I was so offended.
quick.
And then you said sleepover, and I was like, you live together.
As a-
And then
probably a
I
lifetime
went
sleepover.
back and
No, my nephew, the 5-year-old.
a few
The child.
seconds ago. Yes.
The child. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also very into The Jungle Book right now, but he did let me know that he no longer likes Gaston. And I said, thank God, because I was
What
a
does
little
that have
concerned.
to do with Jungle Book?
No, because he really liked Beauty and the Beast. He enjoyed
Okay.
it, but his favorite part was Gaston. He liked Belle, but he liked Gaston. And I was like, Gaston's not a good guy. And then today, or when I saw him a couple days ago, he was like, Aunt Megan, I don't like Gaston anymore. He's not a very good guy. And I said, no, he's
Was
not.
that an original thought, or was he just marinating on what you said?
Well, we did break down when he said he liked Gaston the best. I did ask him, do you like Gaston? Do you think Gaston is nice? And he said no. And I was like, do you like that he's not nice? And he said no. And I said, perchance, do you think you like the song that the town people sing about Gaston? And he said, yeah. And I said, okay. So we like the Gaston song. Mm-hmm. We don't like Gaston. Because as soon as he said, I love Gaston, his mom from the other room goes, what did he just say? And she was like, because she's more of that OG Disney. Like, I was not. I think I've seen Beauty and the Beast once. Like,
Beauty and the Beast was my movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that was, I had a backpack.
I loved her outfits.
But
I thought
now
she did
I'm
nice
like,
ones. Yeah, it never hit for me. I was more of I was Lilo and Stitch. I was Monsters Inc. I liked Mulan, but like still, like I haven't seen most of those. Oh, the guy at Le Creuset and we bonded over Brandy Cinderella, which I did show my nephew some of those songs, and I can't believe I didn't tell you this. So I told him that both Beyonce and Chappell Roan won a Grammy, and I told him I was going to Cowboy Carter, and he said, oh, do you think she'll play Yaya for you? And I said, I think she'll play Yaya just for me. And he was very excited. And I said they won Grammys, and then we listened to I Want to Dance with Somebody, and he asked, who is this? And of course, like he does when any Black woman is singing the song for the first time, he sits down and then just looks at the picture and then goes, she can really sing. And I go, yeah, there is a stark difference between her and Beyonce and then some of the other artists we're listening to. 20 Trucks, Blippi. And he said, why didn't Whitney Houston win a Grammy this year? And I was like, well, and his mom goes, oh, I don't think she put anything out this year. And then I look over to her and she looks at me and I go, she's not. And then she just goes so dead. And she goes, oh, honey, she's dead. And he was like,
Okay. Did she not know Whitney Houston was dead?
No, I think she like thought, but I didn't automatically say that. So I think she was like, maybe she thought she was wrong or whatever. She was like, I'm not going to trust your instincts on this. But I was like, I didn't know how we were handling death. She goes, oh, we're being very straightforward. She's dead. And he goes, oh, okay. And then she told me how they went to the movie museum and it was like all the old movies. And and she was saying that basically, you know, he was like, oh, these people still making movies. He goes, no, these people are, they're dead. They're no longer with us. This is 1920s. And then every time they ever see a clip, he goes, is this when they die? She goes,
Like on screen?
yeah. And she's like, I didn't take you to a snuff film. Like, good God. Okay. Sorry. Got distracted.
But this is See You Next Tuesday. This is when we read the results from the previous. But am I wrong? Now that we're caught up, we can say previous.
Finally. It's been so long.
I know.
So we are presenting to you for episode 132. Who is wrong? First up, me. And this one sent everybody into a tizzy. Megan says, let's stop eating eggs. 30% said I was wrong. 70% said I was not wrong. That is more favorable than I thought it would be. I was listening to this and I had the same thoughts. Like, I don't understand. Why are we treating eggs like they are an essential to everyone? Like, this is something the human body can't live without. It's not like this is water and we will all die if we don't have eggs. Like, I get it. They were cheap and became a normal thing for people to eat a lot of because they were cheap. Let's normalize different things for breakfast now. I agree. And also, the amount of people who had gone on TikTok and was like, how can I learn how to like eggs? And now those people are like, I can't believe we can't eat eggs anymore. I go, you had to ask for help on how to like them. Like this, it was truly a food out of convenience, and it's also helpful. And I'm not like anti-egg as a whole, but like we went from talking shit on them to suddenly being like, I can't live without these.
Yeah.
Eggs should only be used as an ingredient, never as a standalone act. I already struggle with morning nausea and being able to eat breakfast. It sucks when I want to grab a quick breakfast at home, or even make it at home, and I have no options that don't include eggs. No matter what the way I've had them, who's made them, or what I've paired it with, I'm never happy at the end of eating eggs. I more feel like I ran a marathon that I was told I had to run. Stop big egg and stop her now.
Agree.
I love that. I already stopped eating eggs like 2 months ago. Never liked the taste, but only ate them because they were easy. That's what I feel like the consensus for the vast majority of people is. And I'm someone who likes a savory breakfast. Like, I'm not anti-egg as a concept. But
yeah,
it has to be a perfect situation. And usually I have to be in the mood, which is hard.
The only way I like that I actually enjoy egg is a deviled egg or with a ton of cheese, which I can't do most of the time. And which I've kind of just started eating everything now because everything makes my stomach upset. So I'm
I've had that point too.
And like I might as well eat something that I enjoy. Or with a ton of salsa on it. I never just like eggs by themselves. I hated them as a child. I still hate them, but yeah. They're just eat there.
We are so excited to have a brand new sponsor, and I'm feeling very cool because Jesse and Lily are sponsored by OneSkin, and now we are.
Yay!
We are finally here. Skincare, we love skincare. We're all about it. And let's talk about peptides for a minute. If you're like me, you're seeing them everywhere. Peptide this, peptide that, peptide. It's almost a tongue twister. Just because something says peptide on it doesn't actually mean that it's really doing anything for you, but that is where OneSkin's OS1 peptide is different. Some peptides just sit on top of the skin, and OS1 goes deeper. It's scientifically formulated to penetrate the cells within skin's deeper layers, which improves key skin health markers like collagen production, hydration, and my personal uphill battle constantly, skin barrier function.
I think that's both of our uphill battles.
Truly.
I was so excited to get this as well because I just ran out of my other moisturizer, so it was perfect timing. Not only is OS1 proven to remain stable from the lab to the countertop, so you get reliable results every time. And guys, listen, if you're not getting results from your peptides, it might be time to take a closer look. All of OneSkin's topical supplements are backed by lab and clinical studies. And they're all powered by OS1 peptide, the first and only peptide that is scientifically proven to target senescent cells that contribute to lines, wrinkles, and thinning skin. Try OneSkin with an exclusive 15% off your first purchase using Blame Me at oneskin.co.
I love these products. I've been trying out the Essential Moisturizer and the Essential Eye Cream. And for me, eye cream is one of those things that like, I love a little luxury eye cream. I love to like feel that, but specifically the older that I get, and also sometimes if my sleep is not that great, I really notice the lines under the eyes, and I always want my makeup to apply better. And what I love about this is it looks so nice if I put it on, no makeup on, but I also can apply makeup on it. It's not just for like that really rich overnight kind of a thing. It's really a daily thing that you can use, and it just looks and feels really good. And the moisturizer,
oh, can I talk about that? Because sometimes my skin is very dry and scaly. Sometimes my skin is very oily. Sometimes my skin, I'm like, what even is this? But this face moisturizer is perfect. It goes on very smooth. It's not too thick, but you can feel the moisture in it. And then afterwards, after it's like really soaked in, you can just feel just how supple your skin is.
That's the perfect word, supple. And just like us, OneSkin loves science. So glad to hear. We love science in this house.
We do love science.
And OneSkin's entire R&D process is run in-house, strictly adhering to the rigor of scientific process from start to finish. Every claim is based on lab or clinical studies, and it's documented.
Founded and led by an all-woman team of skin and longevity scientists, OneSkin is redefining the aging process with their proprietary OS1 peptide, the first ingredient proven to help skin look, feel, and behave like its younger self.
Get 15% off with code BLAMEME at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code BLAMEME. After your purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Invest in the health and longevity of your skin with OneSkin. Your future self will thank you. Hi, it's Megan.
And Melissa.
If you're like us and you're always searching for the next great book, then we have the perfect show recommendation. The Webby Award-winning podcast, Totally Booked with Zibby.
Formerly called Moms Don't Have Time to Read Books, Totally Booked delivers daily interviews with best-selling authors in just 30 minutes or so. Hosted by Zibby Owens, the powerhouse bookstore owner and best-selling author dubbed NYC's most powerful bookfluencer by Vulture. Needless to say, Zibby's redefining what it means to be a book lover. And with so few daily book podcasts out there, this one is a must listen.
Looking for somewhere to start? They just released an episode with stand-up comedian Chelsea Handler about her brand new book, I'll Have What She's Having. It'll definitely get you laughing. Not to mention, other recent guests include award-winning actor and model Brooke Shields on her new memoir and New York Times bestselling author Gabby Bernstein on self-help techniques she's personally found most useful.
So don't miss out. Follow Totally Booked with Zibby on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you're listening now.
As a podcast network, our first priority has always been audio and the stories we're able to share with you. But at Realm, we also sell some pretty cool merch, and organizing that was made both possible and easy with Shopify. When you think about successful businesses like Aloe or Allbirds or Skims, an often overlooked secret is the business behind the business that makes selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. That's because nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret that's definitely worth talking about is that Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%. That's more happy customers and way more sales going. If you're hoping to grow your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
Also, for me, the way I'm liking an egg is if it's like over easy or sunny side up or whatever, the white is fully cooked through. There's absolutely zero goo, and it's literally like lacy and crispy on the edges, and then I need a runny yolk. And by the way, everyone, you cannot have a runny yolk right now. Like,
nope.
If you're eating an egg and you're taking the risk, you cannot have a fucking runny yolk. Nope. So enjoy your hard eggs.
Yeah, because I do like, I will take that back. I also do like a eggs Benedict, but like,
oh yeah, well, a poached egg is,
and you still can't have that now.
No,
definitely not.
You cannot.
And
have a soft egg.
And I never do a poached egg at home. The only time I have it is in a restaurant.
I got into a Benedict phase as a preteen, and so imagine me transition lenses in my kitchen, making poached egg after poached egg in a pot, trying to nail it. So I tried. Someone else said, I've been checking constantly for this vote. Oh my God, what is wrong with people? Eggs are not a human right. I love caviar, but that's really fucking expensive, so I can't eat it all the time. I like eggs, but I can't afford them, so I don't eat them. Meat is super expensive as well, so I will skip it for some days or even weeks. Why are eggs different? If you can't afford it, maybe take that as a sign. Don't eat it. Yes, especially because we know why it's so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I ate so many eggs in the first 5 years of my life, not by choice, and I haven't been able to eat them in 20 plus years. Eggs are overrated and we need to expand savory breakfast options. I agree with that, and I would like to propose an idea. And I have tried to get people on this. I've been doing this since I was a child, and people are not into it. Savory waffles. Put pesto on a waffle.
No.
Put something else on a waffle. Put a spread on a waffle. Put some sun-dried tomatoes on a waffle.
Mm-mm.
I'm
sorry, I'm not here with you for that.
That's fine. Granted, I also cooked the waffles so much that they were like toast.
Doing what you just said doesn't add protein.
So that's where I need the community's help. Because I do need help. How do we do the protein? Someone else said...
You could do it like a lock. Salmon.
Ever since I made that sushi cake, I can't. It's too much for me. Someone else said, I like eggs, I'm sorry. It's okay. Also, by the way, what made me laugh is caviar. That's also fish eggs.
True.
As someone who loves eggs, I agree that there are other sources of protein we can eat. Furthermore, I have a relative who's on dialysis and can only eat eggs for protein. As a family, we've been looking for other things he can eat because of the bird flu. It can be hard because he's a very picky eater. Wish us luck. Good luck. And if anyone has any suggestions, please, because I think a lot of us are looking for that.
But what can he have? We need that information.
Oh. Well, I wondered if it was because they said he was picky, but you might be right that it might have been a... But eggs are pretty high in cholesterol, so I'm trying to think of... Maybe not... What's that thing in meat that some people can't have if certain things their kidneys? Can't remember. Knew someone who had that, but I can't remember what it was.
Tofu.
Oh, yeah.
If they can have that. I don't know if they can have soy.
Yeah. Someone said, we listen and we don't judge. At me, please. I just like an over medium egg occasionally. Not anymore. But I definitely agree that some people take it way too far. No one is buying 24 eggs a week. Most people I know buy 6, maybe once a month. Also, why do we judge our economic standing based on eggs? Why are they the pinnacle of the market? That's funny. That is true. It used to be gas and now it's eggs. Mostly because
gas kind of stays. Yeah, they just stay at the same price now. It's not like, now I'm just like, I go, I fill up, I leave.
I need gas.
Why look?
So therefore,
right.
I take whatever. I can't shop around. Mm-hmm. Someone else said, I'm eggs #1 hater. I am always team let's stop eating eggs. Someone else said, I love eggs. They're one of the few foods I can eat with chronic illness, food restrictions. I shan't be stopped.
You
might be
exception.
Stopped. But I'm saying, like, depending on how you eat them, you might be stopped. And in general, everybody need, like, everyone should cut back on them just to, like, lower your risk. Mm-hmm. Just in general. Doesn't mean you have to cut them out fully. But if you're eating multiple eggs a day, it's a risk you have to be willing to take then. Someone said, I'm open to change. I use eggs mainly for baking, so I would love some suggestions for alternatives. You can use a flax egg, but in safety-wise, baking...
You can't use, like, for larger episodes, though. Larger recipes, you can't use flax. So it makes it flatter.
It's just gummy?
Yeah. It's usually like when you're using a flax egg, you just substitute one out. Like you'll use a flax egg for one. I don't know. I mean, you'd have to look at like vegan recipes to figure that out.
I know, like yogurt, applesauce, like other things that are fatty and you can add air to them. So like whether it's whipping it in or just it has air built in.
Just Google it. Because I have used substitutions. I will say it's not the same. No. And usually I'm just doing like one egg for something else.
Yeah, but I also think if you're baking, you buy 6 eggs, the risk is not that high because they're also not nearly it's broken up between things, like different servings, and it's also fully cooked. And it will be expensive, but it won't be as expensive as a daily egg habit. Yeah. So Nell said, there's so many protein substitutions and even more egg substitutions for baking. You don't need eggs that are bad, and it's risky. Oh, let us know what those are. So Nell said, it's usually my favorite breakfast. Dippy eggs are scrambled because fast and was cheap in the mornings. Yeah. Everyone needs to retire dippy eggs for the time being. Someone else said, I'm from the UK, so maybe this doesn't apply to me. I just fucking love scrambled eggs. I'm so sorry. You know, I have taken a memoriam on commenting on British people and their food. So if you love scrambled eggs, that's great. I don't know that our chickens affect you. I don't know if you have different chickens. I assume you do. Right?
Yeah. This shouldn't affect them.
No, not at all.
Unless it turns into a pandemic.
And for me, I think scrambled eggs for breakfast, to me...
Better than beans.
Better than beans on toast. Better than when I saw
the type of beans that y'all are eating, because I think there's better beans that you could be eating on toast.
Well, I also think that the thing that really sticks me out, and like maybe you don't eat them this way, but I saw someone who, when they said toast, that was so generous. That bread was barely kissed by a fucking Yankee Candle. Like it was so soft, no color change. And they put on, which were not even hot, like lukewarm, baked beans. And then
they're not baked beans in the way that we have baked beans. They're cooked in tomato sauce.
Yeah. And then they did a sprinkling of cheese, bright orange, shredded cheese, and then a squirt of ketchup all over it, like a drizzle of ketchup. I was like, that's fucking insane. And it's collapsing under the weight because the bread is not toasted.
I love a beans on bread situation when it's a hot dog and it's barbecue baked beans.
A good baked bean is fantastic.
Yeah.
But
like if it was a good baked bean on it,
a ham hock baked bean,
that would be delicious. But that tomatoey sauce, sorry.
I was like, why are your baked beans so red?
Yeah.
Why does it look grainy?
Epicurious, the baker lady, Carolyn, did you see what she did? Mm-mm. She made cornbread, but made it like a loaf.
Like a Texas toast, thick.
Yeah, but cornbread. And then like made beans with like the ham hock and stuff in it. And then did it and said this would be a better choice. And then a British person commented and said that this was classist. And she was like, this is literally foods that my people eat as enslaved people. This is not classist at all. Y'all just don't have taste.
Corn is cheaper than wheat. So, yeah, I did see that one British guy who's trying American Chinese food for the first time. And he's wondering why there's broccoli in things, saying that's not Chinese food. And then was it Chinese food?
Yeah, that's what it was.
And then he was wondering in like a curry, something that they had. He said, where are the French fries?
Mm-hmm. What's the first word of that?
French. I was like, what the fuck? I can't.
Yeah, his girlfriend's making him try it. Yeah.
Yeah, but keep eating your eggs in the UK. Like, don't pour one out for anyone. Like, but, eat them. Love that.
If it doesn't apply, let it fly.
Someone else said, no, because of eggs, look at me wrong. I will not eat them for months. And you have a kindred spirit in me. As someone who's a picky eater, I love eggs and I will have them every morning for breakfast. But I get where you're coming from with the bird flu. Now that I'm thinking about it, I voted wrong. You're right. We should stop eating eggs. But I truly just don't want to. This is making me sad. Also, I heard someone say Biden killed all the chickens at the store the other day. And I was really like, what do you mean? I did see someone blaming it. I was like, of course, blaming it up. They blamed the gas prices on him still.
But remember, somebody said they were going to knock the prices down as soon as they got into office. Remember that?
No, but now they're like, well, he couldn't because Biden, he strangled every single chicken. He became the villain in Chicken Little and Chicken Run.
When life gets hectic, one of the first things that goes out the window for me is making sure I'm eating nutritious meals and not just getting takeout when I realize I don't have the energy to cook that day. And that's why I love that I can optimize my nutrition this year with Factor. Factor has chef-made gourmet meals that make eating well easy. They're dietitian approved and ready to heat and eat in 2 minutes, so you can fuel right and feel great no matter what life throws at you. Factor arrives fresh and fully prepared, so it's perfect for any active, busy lifestyle. And they have 40 options across 8 dietary preferences on the menu each week, so you can pick meals tailored to your goals and choose from options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, or Keto. I love knowing that I have Factor meals in the fridge because it means I have a variety of dinner options without any of the hassle of deciding what to make or cleaning up, and they truly are so delicious. I've never been disappointed by a meal from Factor. With Factor, you can reach your goals with ingredients you can trust and convenience that can't be beat. So eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/factorpodcast and use code FACTORPODCAST to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code FACTORPODCAST at factormeals.com/factorpodcast to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box.
In humanity's search for other worlds, we found something unexpected.
It's a massive collection of tiny pocket realities, and each one is a story.
But when we explored those stories, things didn't go as planned.
Mr. Darcy, I am Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
Ah, humbug.
What happens when classic stories go wrong? I go in to fix them.
I am Dracula, and I bid you welcome.
Subscribe and listen to Muse, the latest audio drama from Dayton Writers Movement and Realm.
With something like 5 million podcasts, finding a really good one can take a ton of time. So let me recommend one. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in each episode, we discuss topics that can be really helpful, like how to read people better, the psychology of crowds, or fun things like the story of Legos, or why you probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for horses. Something You Should Know is the name of it, wherever you get your podcasts.
All right. And then Melissa says, if you're going to be a penis surgery advocate, tell the truth. 4% said I was wrong. 96% said I was not wrong. Someone said, are there any benefits to this that aren't sex or self-esteem related? I feel like there's so many other things to do before just adding a couple inches to your dick, but I don't want to yuck their yums as long as they're truthful. I don't have a problem if you're doing it for self-esteem. Like, that's a lot of people getting elective surgeries are like,
that's the only reason why you get
for
elective surgery.
It's for self-esteem. That's not my issue with it. My issue is saying that you had a 3-inch penis and then you got it to be 11 inches. That's the lie.
That's medical misinformation. Like, they're going to start inviting him on the Maha.
That man telling Melissa that he liked her skin was on some sort of Hannibal situation, minus the charm and Hugh Dancy of it all. Because what, pardon, even just hearing that had me pull out my headphones for a moment to ponder in silence, because what the fuck? Melissa, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, you've been catching.
I have.
I don't know what you must be like giving off these like specific birthday like Aquarius pheromones, but like they've been attracted to you.
They have,
and you have wanted you've given no indication you've wanted anything to do with it.
Not one man has even been attractive. The young boy, he was handsome, but he was a boy,
a child.
So like he also had no chance. 22. In case you haven't listened to Fisting Friday, I'm talking about this 22-year-old. But I wish they'd leave me alone.
I wish that for you as well.
Same person said, also read the votes. Of course, not wrong, because it's like he said that with his whole chest, thinking somehow everyone would just face value think it's true. My head hurts. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Another person said, Melissa isn't so not wrong, but asking men to tell the truth about their dicks is hilarious and will likely never happen. Yeah, I still call it out.
Yep. Writer number 1, are they wrong for telling in-laws not to comment on Toddler's body? 1% said the writer is wrong. 99% said the writer is not wrong. Someone said, in-laws are insane and disgusting for this. Writer's super right. Writer's partner should be setting those boundaries, though. It shouldn't have to be the writer's sole responsibility when it's his parents. Yep. Growing up and being more naturally curvy, this phenomenon is unfortunately one I'm used to. Comments about my body or other people from my family almost seem normalized. It's absolutely disgusting. Comments like these feel inherently sexual because they are, and they shouldn't be made towards anyone, especially children. Please, please, please keep your child far away from people like this. If they're this bold when she's this young, there's no telling what could happen. Yep. Because it makes then you just grow up with it being normal.
Mm-hmm.
And then it skews all of it. It's like the same reason why teachers have to create very strong boundaries with their students, even if they're not creepy, but because you should never normalize an incredibly close relationship with an adult like that, because then it sets that precedent.
Yep.
That it doesn't raise the red flags. My cousin called me chubby chicken my entire childhood, and adults around them, never when my mom was around, would laugh and join in, and I still remember it to this day. Not to mention the fat shaming and public abuse about my body I suffered from family members later on too. These memories that from that young have actively haunted me and still leave scars. Fuck any adult that thinks it's okay to do this, and I'm sending love and support to the reader because they're protecting their child. I wish I had adults that would have done that for me, so they're incredible. It's very sweet. The writer's in-laws are wrong for a multitude of reasons, not including but not limited to. Body shaming is always wrong. This is also probably also racist. The creepy tone of these comments definitely cut access to the child. Someone else said, stories like this make me appreciate my problematic extended relatives live outside the U.S. I felt like that when one of my grandmas died. I was like, ooh, perfect. Like I was like, thank God. Like, because I literally was like thinking about, I was like, if this old lady's gonna be alive when I'm getting ready to go to prom, and all of those, like, there's no fucking way. Like, I will not survive this. Like, she's foaming at the mouth to say something. Someone else said, creepy in-laws. Yeah. Why are older generations so fucking obsessed with everyone else's bodies? This guy is disgusting and perverted. I don't care if they're related to you. You should fight him or at least try to get him on a list so he can't legally be near children. Yeah, or at least your child. I wanted to weigh in on this one. She was 100% right in telling him to fuck off. I was told that at like 4, I needed to suck in my tummy, and I still think about it almost daily at 28 years old. Another thought, body shaming adults saying fucked up shit. My best friend's mother-in-law told her 2-year-olds who were potty training, so they like to run around naked, that if they walked around naked, she would cut their penises off. Or a monster would come and chomp off their penises. That's fucking crazy.
Why?
Like, what does that achieve? I think it's so weird when people think like lying to kids is fun, like as a whole, as
or
like
it's going to teach them a
overarching
lesson.
concept. I'm like, but it's not. That's. There are certain things, sure. The only time I ever lied to my nephew, it's like, the phone is going to sleep. Like, the phone is tired. Like it can't play anymore. It's taking a nap. But one time he kept kicking a credenza, and it was free from, I know this because I was there when they picked it up, but it was free from Facebook Marketplace. And I was like, it is not strong enough for you to keep fucking kicking it like that. And so I was like, you need to stop kicking it because what is it attached with? And he goes, the bottom. He's like, I don't know, what are those? I was like, those are called legs. It might just get up and run away. And he goes, no. And I was like, they're legs. They're kind of like your legs. He goes, they're not the same kind of legs. And I was like, I don't know. Maybe they are. And then he was like, and then he stopped kicking it. But that's not like a total lie. They're called legs.
Yeah. It's a half lie.
Exactly. Someone else said, good for her for standing up to them. What a disgusting way to refer to a child. Also, her husband needs to get on his Zoom and start standing up to them because those are also his kids. Yes. That's it.
All right. Then we've got writer number 2. Are they wrong for falling for a guy their friend liked? Ooh. I love this photo. These were my favorite commercials when I was a young tyke.
Oh, wait, I forgot which one it was. Oh, I've fallen.
Help, I've fallen. I can't get up. Life alert, baby.
I love those commercials too.
I learned recently that they've been redoing them, and Ty is in one of them playing a firefighter.
Stop. I need to find that.
I'll find it.
That's funny.
Yeah. He comes sliding down a pole.
Shut up.
36% said the writer's wrong. 64% said the writer's not wrong. Someone said writer's wrong for keeping it a secret while your friend was still talking about him. The conversation between them should have just happened earlier. Another person said, in my opinion, she should have said something to the friend before anything developed with this guy, but the friend calling dibs on random men and being delusional about whether they actually like her is so frustrating and feels indicative of some deeper problems with insecurity that she, the friend, needs to unpack on her own. Another person said, I can see both sides of this, but she should have told her. However, you can't call dibs on a guy, never make a move, and then get shocked when one of your friends hits it off with your crush. They should definitely talk it out. Another person said, I'm with Meghan on this 100%. I'm personally the one who loves crushes for every single human being, but also I got millions of crushes myself too, but never the OMG, that's my husband kind. That kind gives me the ick. I just think people are cool and cute and hot. You also have a boyfriend.
Who is that?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe y'all broke up. Someone else said, not wrong for their feelings, but could be wrong depending on how they go about it. However, friend kind of sounds like they suck. They suck too, so PEMDAS, I guess.
I love PEMDAS.
Another person said, this one is so hard because I agree it's a bit of both. I'm saying not wrong because you can't control your feelings, and having a friend that calls infinite dibs would be really frustrating. However, I do think there is some wrong because you know your friend, at least at the time, said they liked him, so there should have been some sort of communication, even if it would have been detrimental to the friendship, because now so much time and secret talking feelings have happened in this guy, so that'll be an added layer. Good luck, writer.
For me, this would just be like, this is the cue that I'm done with this friendship.
Well, they sent in an update. I'll share it at the end.
Okay.
It's not, someone else said it's not exactly the same, but I had a friend in high school who was the type that dated everyone. Throughout all of high school, I sat back and let her date guy after guy and never saying anything about it. I wish back then I would have just booked up and pursued one of those guys, knowing that if she went for him, nothing would really come of it. It sounds harsh, but people like this really do need reality check, like Meghan said. You also don't like men anymore, so. Another person said, I'm not sure how good of friends they really are, considering the writer described their friend as insecure and delulu. My gavel says bang bang wrong, because as the writer's friends, their description of the situation would hurt me more than getting with the crush itself, and seems like an attempt to take distance and justify actions. I don't know. I think knowing who your friends are at their core, I don't think that that's indicative of how good of a friend they are.
No, I also think that, like, yeah, I would feel embarrassed if someone described me like that, but because I'd feel embarrassed if it was true. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think, like, this isn't like a outlet. Like, most people most people know somebody like this. It's not like a crazy set of character traits.
Right. Someone else said the friend in question sounds annoying and maybe not a good friend if they would get upset if you liked any of the 2,000 people they claimed by stating a crush. Megan's crush crazy friend sounds so fun.
It's fucking crazy. I think about that like quite literally all the time. I've been that bitch. I've been that bitch who made out with someone who was like, I love him. And I'm like, you have a boyfriend. And this guy is not interested in you. And he's told you that.
All right. And then there's an update to that one, too. She sent a voice note on here.
Okay, hi. I'm literally listening to But Am I Wrong right now. And I didn't know what else to use in terms of fake names. I'm the one who wrote in about Am I Wrong for
Lily and
falling for my friend's
the show
crush. I also was just watching How I Met Your Mother, so it just happened to be like, okay, these work, but they weren't together, so that makes sense. Sorry.
So there's that. And then they said, but yeah, there was no way to have gone around the situation. I didn't go. We were supposed to go to Houston together, but I backed out. I'm honestly totally fine with the friendship ending because she has been like that, where she lays a claim on every guy she's crushed on. And you're a bad friend if you go near them. And also, I'm too damn old for this. Ha
yeah. I think that's fine. I am no longer friends with the person who was like this too. And like, I will say that, like, if they don't grow out of it into older age, and even if they end up with somebody, they tend to take that same energy into other aspects of their life, and also other aspects of your having a very strong stance on everything in a way that it impedes on your life as well.
Yep.
Hello, I am Kristen Russo.
And I am Jenny Owen Youngs.
We are the hosts of Buffering the Vampire Slayer once more, with spoilers, a rewatch podcast covering all 144 episodes of, you guessed it, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
We are here to humbly invite you to join us for our 5th Buffy Prom, which, if you can believe it, we are hosting at the actual Sunnydale High School. That's right. On April 4th and 5th, we will be descending upon the campus of Torrance High School, which was the filming location for Buffy's Sunnydale High, to dance the night away to 90s music in the iconic courtyard, to sip on punch right next to the Sunnydale High fountain, and to nerd out together in our prom best inside of the set of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
All information and tickets can be found at bufferingcast.com/prom. Come join us.
I'm Amy Nicholson, the film critic for the LA Times.
And I'm Paul Scheer, an actor, writer, and director. You might know me from The League, Veep, or my non-eligible for Academy Award role in Twisters.
We come together to host Unspooled, a podcast where we talk about good movies, critical hits,
fan favorites, must-sees, and in case you missed them.
We're talking Parasite to Home Alone.
From Grease to The Dark Knight.
So if you love movies like we do, come along on our cinematic adventure.
Listen to Unspooled wherever you get your podcasts.
And don't forget to hit the follow button.
From the podcast that brought you to each of the last lesbian bars in the country and back in time through the sapphic history that shaped them comes a brand new season of cruising beyond the bars. This is your host, Sarah Gabrielli, and I've spent the past year interviewing history-making lesbians and queer folks about all kinds of queer spaces, from bookstores to farms to line dancing and much more. You can listen to Cruising on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes air every other Tuesday starting February 4th.
Then we have my Wrong of the Week nomination, LG Evans. 94% said LG is wrong. 6% said LG is not wrong. Do 6% of you work for LG?
Life's Good.
Is that what it stands for?
That's what they would say in the commercials. I don't know if that's actually what it would stand for.
That would
but
make
they'd
sense.
be like, life's good. It might just be initials for somebody.
Someone said, this is actually diabolical. And I think that is a great way to describe it.
Mm-hmm. Lucky Gold Star is what it is.
Oh, okay.
They combined two different companies together.
Mm. This is so scary. Like, here's a sticker to remind the living things in your life that can't read. This is a fire hazard. That's true. Like, I think with the people who can't.
Or even like a plant.
Someone said, surely a lawsuit waiting to happen. Unfortunately, I think this might be the result of the lawsuit. I don't know that it is, but I think that this is them trying to get ahead of a lot. Like, trying to be like, we rectified this. Where I'm like, this does not count. Someone else said, I Googled it and it sounds like the most accidental bump. When you walk past it, it would turn on. Yes, that is what's it's people. It is so sensitive that people would be walking past it, wouldn't even feel that they touched it or bumped it, and it would turn on. Not like the ranges where you have to push it in and then turn it and there's like a click and then all that. You could quite literally walk by it, slightly brush it with the fucking sweater, and it would turn on. That's just plain dangerous. And white dangerous? Oh, that's just plain black and white dangerous. I skipped over a line. What the fuck? This is obviously a major design flaw. Yep. Oh, and this person is so kind. They said, Melissa, you can always make me watch gross things if you've been subjected to this. I volunteer as tribute. So send them all your fucking nasty stuff instead of sending it to me because I'm terrified to open. I rarely open our DMs because I don't know what I'm about to see.
Yesterday I saw somebody... no, never open them in public. I was watching just a plain old reel.
Stop watching reels. That's your first fucking
No,
problem.
but like it's in like I'll be watching like it'll be just scrolling through Instagram and then it's like a reel in somebody's like in the feed. It's there. And I was watching it. I think it might have been Whitney Houston. Oh. Like, of course I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop and watch a Whitney Houston video. And then the next thing that pops up is two women in yoga class.
It's always yoga.
And one woman is in like child's pose stretching out. And then there's a woman basically on top of her, humping her.
No, thank you. Have you ever seen the SNL Adele sketch about the sex tourism?
I'm sure I did because I watched that episode.
Mats and I rewatched that one. 80s It reminds me of all the fucking shit you said.
Oh, yeah. Because it was a direct... I had talked about what it was.
The reference of the guy on the fucking... Not boogie boards, but those...
It was basically a boogie board.
Yeah, the stand-up paddle, like the surfboards.
Yeah.
And then they just cover you in mud and then fuck you in the ass. And there are these white women going, I loved this vacation.
Nasties. They use fucking plastic bags as condoms.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is sex tourism. I don't know what you guys aren't getting. By the way, you just paid for sex.
Mm-hmm.
That
was
a part
fine.
of what, that's fine, but I need you to acknowledge
to recognize what it was. Like, it wasn't just some man that was enamored with you.
No! The money that you paid for, that you got sex. It was an exchange of goods and services. Maybe they just read too many romance novels, so they think, like, he was overcome with emotion. And I go, yeah, Kathy from Dayton. Like, no, that was... This young man is not interested in that.
Mm-hmm.
I want bad things for the people who decided stickers are the way to solve this. Like, that sticker is probably flammable, and I wish you defective appliances for the rest of your life. Truly. And again, like, they've said, like, pets have died. And I'm like, as far as I know, cats can't read. And what if you have a friendly ghost living in your house? What if that friendly ghost invites over a not-so-friendly ghost, and then they brush by it accidentally?
Yeah.
Or even a friendly ghost who does it accidentally. That's it.
Then we've got my wrong of the week, Stephen A. Smith. 97% said he was wrong. 3% said he was not wrong. You picked the perfect photo because that's the face that he's making 99.9% of the time.
I was going to say, Melissa, when I went into it, I said, I got to get a picture of him making that face. I go to Google Images. 90% of the photos of him are him making that face because it's the only face he makes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a sneer. He's constantly sneering.
Even on General Hospital, he's supposed to be like this suave guy, which doesn't make any sense.
No.
And he's usually making, like, he'll be like, oh, you know, and he's making that face. And I'm like, please stop.
Ew.
Someone said, loud and motherfucking wrong. All the goddamn time. He could never be on a sports talk show ever again, and that would be too soon. Also, why is he screaming all the goddamn time? My ear hurts after listening to him.
He does have a shrill voice.
Mm-hmm. And someone else said, as if Serena would look in his direction. Facts. I also don't know why old men like to even, like, put themselves in a situation like that with younger women.
What do you mean?
Like, he's old.
Like, why he's
why would you even
on this?
like why would you even see her as a wife material?
Because, like most single men of his age, he thinks that he's reframed it in his mind that it's not because he is repulsive to be around and shitty and no one wants to be with him, that he's reframed it to he's choosy, he's picky. He gives me I'm like, give it a couple years and he'll be preaching about passport bros. Like,
mm-hmm.
It's giving I want a docile female.
Yeah.
In those exact words. Like, it's mm-hmm. very much giving that. And it will never not be funny because, like, it's hilarious because of Serena in her own right, like how successful she is, that, like, that person's right, like, quite literally would not look twice at him. But then to be like, I would never date her. If she dated you, that would be such a fucking downgrade from her husband.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's so crazy. Like, him being like, I would never date her. And I go,
and
she would never date you. It's like literally being like, yeah, I would. It's like some guy being like,
she's not my
Margot
type.
Robbie's that hot. She's not my type. And it's like,
okay.
That's because you live in your mother's basement. Like, she would never look as if you are the one that you have to change the narrative to be like, no, I'm rejecting her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rejecting her before she can reject me. And I'm like, she can't even see you down there. Hate him, hate him, hate him.
All right, that's it.
I hope you all enjoy. Don't forget to vote for the last episode that's coming out. Or that's out.
It's out. It's out yesterday.
vote for that. Head over to our Instagram stories and make sure you follow the account so you know when they're up. And they will be in the highlights. And as always, you can reply even if you've missed the voting window period. And
please also only vote if you've listened to the episode, because, like, what's the point? You might have missed the context of what was happening.
Yeah, some of you said things that were a little confusing. And I didn't know what they meant.
Yep.
So.
And it was clear that you didn't listen.
Yeah. Because sometimes I go, did I say something about that? And then Melissa goes, nope, you didn't say that at all. And I go, yeah. So I think that's not a me issue. Most of the time it is. But anyways, we hope you enjoyed. And
we will
see
you next Tuesday. Bye.
This is a Sister Sign production hosted by me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa D. Montz, plus Diamond Imprint Productions.
Do you love Disney? Do you love top 10 lists? Then you are going to love our hit podcast, Disney Countdown. I'm Megan, the Magical Millennial.
And I'm the Dapper Danielle.
On every episode of our fun and family-friendly show, we count down our top 10 lists of all things Disney. The parks, the movies, the music, the food, the lore. There is nothing we don't cover on our show.
We are famous for rabbit holes, Disney-themed games, and fun facts you didn't know you needed.
I had Danielle and Megan record some answers to seemingly meaningless questions. I asked Danielle what insect song is typically higher pitched in hotter temperatures and lower pitched in cooler temperatures.
You got this.
No, I didn't.
Don't believe that. About a wish coming true? Well, I didn't either. Of course, I'm just a
cicada.
I'm crying. I'm so sorry, Jiminy.
You win that one.
So if you're looking for a healthy dose of Disney magic, check out Disney Countdown wherever you get your podcasts.
Contained herein are the heresies of Radolf Buntwine, erstwhile monk turned traveling medical investigator. Join me as I study the secrets of the divine plagues and uncover the blasphemous truth that ours is not a loving God, and we are not its favored children. The Heresies of Radolf Buntwine, wherever podcasts are available.
Bitches on Comics is a bi-monthly interview podcast where we talk to the coolest LGBTQ plus folks and women in comics and pop culture.
Our unique perspectives and welcoming nature have earned us the honor of being named a best comic book podcast by Book Riot, Screen Rant, The Mary Sue, Comic Book Herald, and Comic Book Couples Counseling.
Bitches on Comics is hosted by moi, Monica Estrella Negra, filmmaker, writer, and co-founder of Audrey's Revenge Film.
And me, Essie Fleenor, comic and pop culture nerd and culture critic with writing in The Independent, Vice, Electric Literature, Star Trek, and so much more.
We're also both voting members of Gallica, the Society of LGBTQ plus entertainment critics.
Join Bitches on Comics for in-depth, hilarious, and heartfelt conversations with the likes of Stephanie Williams, Leah Anderson, and the late, great Rachel Pollack.
Listen to Bitches on Comics on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Or tune in at bitchesoncomics.com. New episodes every other Wednesday.